Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
All right, here we go.
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down to Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
A second down run for Abdullah. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Stafford gives to Abdullah. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On second down, Trubisky. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Howard. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
On the return, it's Tate. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Floyd. In there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Stafford. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got a man complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Hey, tag 32, tag 32. 22.
On first down, Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting you.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Christian Covington in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, my goodness, I thought he'd peel off. Instead, he makes the fair catch at the 2-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Trubisky back into his end zone. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. He leaves this one for Howard. Gets out of a little bit of trouble there with a shifty move. He'll take it up past the 6. Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. Anunwa, the intended target. And that pick just sets them up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D lineman, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they'll throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Trubisky now down around his goal line. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Looking to throw Trubisky on 1st down. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a 2nd down. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Steps away to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Christian Covington in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford going for the deep ball. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. The veteran Jason McCourty there to make sure that one didn't find its target.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, 17 yards, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Devon Kennard in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Now it's Trubisky. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Stay 50.
A handoff to Abdullah. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Well run here. Abdullah. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Now a give. This is Abdullah. A minute 59 to go in the 1st half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Now a play fake it at Stafford. Trying to lay one up deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. The screen pass here to Cohen. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him.
There's an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Trubisky. Got it open man, it's a noon one. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
He was brought down by Devon Kennard. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is caught at the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. On 1st and goal, Howard. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bears are in for 6. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out now come the Lions. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play action. Stafford. Going up top. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. He will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. They go play action with Trubisky. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling could lead to no yards gained.
Here's Trubisky. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A good pick up there, 26 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throw left side complete. It's Burton. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
About 3 yards there to the 27. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Play action. It's Trubisky. And the third down pass falls incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 50 at Stanford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Aaron Lynch in there to drop it for his second sack now here tonight.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them,
Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The tackle made there by Jared Davis. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Play action. Now Trubisky. He'll rifle this one deep. It's got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one. And even 40 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
After the interception, here's Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Second and 10, Stafford again. He's going to sling it, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there, 76 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there. Second down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Red, up.
They go with Howard again. And some space here. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there.
A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. Two division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. They go counter with Howard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They go play action. Trubisky. And Noodle's got it. Complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy.
You see it? You see it? Red, up.
Right back to him on 1st down. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Let's go. Blue. Red, up. Red, up.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Hey, 18. Hey,
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Devon Kennard coming to the sack of Trubisky. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bears are in for 6. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Here comes Johnson on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Hey, Jack 50 left. Double right. Double right.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They'll give to Howard. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Let's go.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Red, up. Red, up. Red, up.
Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. I love the look you just gave me because I know what you're thinking. If you're going to run towards the perimeter, you better either stay in bounds or get the 1st down, or both. He did neither.
Imagine the looks he's getting right now from his team, from his coaches. They go over those scenarios all the time, and as you said, he did neither.
12 yards on the return that time, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's going to let it fly. And, a A crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again, it's Howard. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get